Alright, another U.S. history stream is underway. Alright, so. It's all 5 dictators. Alright. Oh, I need a pencil. Shoot. I need a pencil.
Were you here Friday?
Oh yeah.
How was she?
She was good. Is she? Yeah.
I know she's
2024.
Yeah, it smells like a little lemon and orange, like mixed.
That's good. It's better than BO. It's better than body odor or like a smelly trash can or something like that. Or sweat.
Probably. They're good choice.
Hendrix. So the first time, like, I learned guitar and I was playing and stuff, but like, I didn't really have an artist that I really liked or anyone that I like. And then I heard
Muslim.
and I was like, oh my god, this is sweet. Like the buzz. They're usually Marshalls. Yeah, the problem with his whole style is that people try to like pick guitars like him because he's known for using Stratocaster backwards. Yeah, he plays a lot of strats backwards because he's left-handed. So he'll play with the right-handed guitar, left-handed, and strum to count.
Alright, there we go. I got the do now done. For the board.
You still have ink on your cookies. I know. Wash your face.
Yeah, they're all blues. They're all blues.
That's somebody meant by wash your face. Sandy?
Oh yeah. Never grown hair. That was my school. I was like a sophomore.
What is your name?
What's up, man? Okay.
I need a pond to keep your shit. Oh, try it again.
Don't you, for conditioning, don't you have to go to like study hall or the study table before you go to? I mean, yeah, figure it out. And what you can do too is if you do test corrections, like after I'm done working with Jericho, you can stop running. Good choice.
You can hear it.
There's a dude on my board, peoples. Let's get to it. Come on. Means you too. I'm gonna do. You probably could. But you're my friend, so you do it.
This is a Chromebook.
That's definitely going on my wheelhouse.
Come on. Oh, come on, you stupid Chromebook. Don't play with me. Oh my gosh. Come on, you stupid Chromebook. Oh my god. Better not turn off again. Oh crap, I need a textbook. Come on! Alright. This piece of crap Chromebook. Alright. Just go grab a textbook. Go grab a textbook. Yeah.
Everybody shove a notebook out. What's going on here? Get a notebook, a piece of paper. Come on. Got stuff to do. You should also have a textbook in front of you. Look at my agenda.
What? Can you grab my... Go over there. Get my AirPod. In the front pocket. Front pocket. Come on, little nigga. I want to sit the fuck down.
The music's playing again. Try that. I hate this one. Your charge is broken. Right. Your charge is broken.
I had no idea. That's where they live.
Oh, here's.
Can you throw it away? I'm gonna do you fucking favor. I swear to God. I don't give a fuck. Shit. Do you want to fight?
It's not going to go great later.
Oh my God, it's not my fucking job. It's not my job. I'm not plugging in your fucking phone every day and grabbing text messages. That's not a job. Nigga, get the fuck up.
Grab a textbook. We're going to use textbooks.
Look at it.
Oh, man, over. Oops.
That's how they had it back.
Obviously, we need
Alright, so I need eyes and ears on me in 3. I need voices off 2, or at least whispering. Can't whisper, don't talk at all. Cell phones face down and put away. Let's get to it. So, first things first. Let's try to list all the 5 dictators. Who's got one? Jesse. Adolf Hitler. Germany. He's a Nazi, or at least part of the Nazi party, so he's a fascist. Give me another one, Chris. The 5 dictators we covered on Thursday.
Oh, I love
Shh, whisper, please. That's okay. I can come back to you. And we got another one? Nope, not you, Jesse. I want to hear from someone else. Mussolini. Nice. Benito Mussolini. Oh, you're fine. It's all good. I say names wrong all the time. It's all good. Yes, well, hold on to that 1 second. Benito Mussolini. He is the leader of what country? Italy.
What's his name?
26?
Today's the 27th.
Today's
Today's the 27th.
the
Oh shit.
26.
I know.
Sorry, I had to check too. I doubted myself. Alright. Mussolini is also a fascist.
I do.
We'll talk about what that really is today. Alright. Chris, you said Tojo. Hideki Tojo.
Forgot the other kids.
It's all good. Hideki Tojo and Emperor Hirohito. If you don't know what country these people are from, I guess you've been living under a rock based on names. Japan. Japan at this point is imperialist, meaning they're trying to take over more land, but it's an extension of fascism. What's that? There's an issue too with China building up land too. They're like dumping bunches of like soil deposits to extend their reach into the ocean. It's kind of weird. All right,
Is it Joseph Stalin?
dude. Now I hear from you. I gave you one, Tyler.
Joseph Stalin.
Thank you. I just wanted one from you.
Wow.
Sorry. I want other people to know. What country is he from, Ricky?
USSR, Soviet Union.
Russia.
Just really just Russia.
Can I give you the last one?
I need to know what kind of government the Soviet Union runs. Nope. Communist. I know. Based on the others, it makes sense, but it's communist.
Isn't Mussolini also a communist too? At the same time?
Mussolini, no, he's fascist.
Door.
Fascists actually don't like communism. Kind of weird. All right, last one, Ricky.
Francisco
Fuck
Franco.
no. Ricky, shut the door. Yeah.
What country? Francisco Franco. What country?
Rick is getting stupid.
Spain.
Spain. Thank you. He is also fascist.
They're almost all fascist.
Yeah, they're almost all fascists. That's kind of crazy. It's almost like they all ally with each other.
Unless they don't think.
What's that?
Unless they don't think.
They do.
Unless
Except for, technically the USSR doesn't ally with them. They sign a treaty to not get involved,
break it.
and they break it later on. Yeah. Molotov, Ribbentrop.
Unless they doesn't, they don't. It gets broken.
Yeah. Whew. Okay, so we have a couple things I want to do today. The main goal for today is to make sure we understand the causes of World War II. How did World War II start? That's what we want to know by the end of the day today, okay? We've done our whole thing on dictators at this time. I'm not spending a lot of time on them because we're more US-centric, but we should know who they are. Kind of helps us build a background. Here's how today is going to work. We're going to do a textbook key term thing first, get some background terminology. Then, I forgot to add it. I don't know why I forgot it. That's okay. After the textbook activity, we will do a self-guided, student-paced Nearpod, which is basically like a review thing. The big deal of this hour is to get notes. So I have a graphic on the board that you should take a photo of and write down somewhere in your notebook. This stuff on the board, you guys already knew it. Hopefully you already have notes on that. If you don't, please do. The section in the textbook that we're working on is the one that you used for the activity on Friday when I was gone. If you weren't here or you didn't finish it, it's in the US History 10 slot, and you can work on that as you're working on key terms, because I will grade it. So I'll give you the next 5 or so minutes to do the definitions and key terms on page 334. We'll talk about them. 334. We'll talk about them, and then we'll watch like a 30 or 90-second video, and then you'll have the remainder of the hour to work on that Nearpod.
Right.
Cool?
And then we do 3:30.
Yes, ma'am. Your textbook. So, keep going. About 11:30, we'll go over key terms.
Pencil, alright. Six, alright. Oop.
Manson. Sure. Got a textbook, but you couldn't open it up, could you? Alright, for those of us who actually care to pay attention and working class, let's go over these key terms. Only like 3. So I know we went over it in a PowerPoint, but let's go over it one more time on what fascism is, because it can be confusing. You see all the dictators and it says fascism. What does that really mean? Fascism is, Jesse, please.
Political system headed by dictators and laws or extreme nationalism and often racism, no tolerance, opposite.
Fascism, it's like ultra nationalism. What it really means is that people are so pro their government and their country that they're willing to hold racist and bigoted viewpoints of countries around them, thinking of them as lesser. And there's only one political party in these countries. For example, you have fascist Germany, which only has the Nazi Party or the National Socialist Party. Not really socialist, but that's it. Yeah.
They're social to themselves.
Yeah, they're social to the singular party. Let's move over to the Soviet Union. So I'll use these interchangeably, but you must understand from about this point in our history up until 1991, Russia is formally known as the Soviet Union, or the USSR, the United Soviet Socialist Republics. It just means that Russia's communist at this time. When I say the Soviet Union, I mean communist Russia. Okay? Russia now is a little bit more complicated than that. Technically, they're not communist. I don't know what they are. They don't know what they are. So it's kind of like a dictatorship still. But let's get to it. The problem with communism is that they have collectives. Jackson, can you read the definition for collective, please? Thank you.
A farm, especially in communist countries, formed from many small holdings, collective into small units for joint operations under government supervision.
The Soviet Union specifically made sure that when they became communist, no one has private ownership. Under a communist country, you can't own your own land, you can't own your own car, you can't own your own stuff. Everything is given to you by the government. That's good if you are very poor and you need those things, right? Like you're struggling to find food and housing and work. Those people love a communist country because it gives them something. The problem is with those that should be in other capitalist countries would make a lot of money. They don't like being in a communist country, right? Because you have your medical doctors getting paid as much as your janitors in some respects. Yeah, kind of stinks for the doctor. It's great for the janitor, though, right? But here's the issue. Remember last week, Thursday, when I told you that Stalin was responsible for more deaths than Hitler was? It's because of something like collectives. All the farms that fed the millions upon millions of people that lived in the Soviet Union, those were all privately owned farms. When they collectivized them and the government ran the farms didn't do too hot at first. When that happens, the entire food source of Russia goes, and that means millions of people die from a lack of food, which is called famine. Oh, let's get to the most important term for today, and that is appeasement. Danielle, can you do appeasement for us? Thank you. Perfect. I'll get it. talk about appeasement or appeasing someone, my favorite thing to use as an example is think of a kid. So you're at a restaurant, right? It's a nice restaurant, you know, Texas Roadhouse, Red Lobster, McDonald's, you know, real upscale fancy restaurant here. Wendy's, you know, kind of suit and tie kind of place. You're sitting down, enjoying a nice dinner with your significant other, friends and family, loved ones, and then you hear a loud, annoying kid screaming and running around behind you. And then all of a sudden, the parent of that kid just gives them an iPad or a phone or a video game of some sort. It's like, here, shut up. That's appeasement. You're not solving the problem, you're just kind of stopping it from occurring. With appeasement, the problem is that when Hitler is rising to power, bringing all this stuff up, all the other countries that are like, this is illegal. The Treaty of Versailles says that Germany can't have a military. Well, all the other countries don't want to step in and say something because they're afraid of an all-out conflict, like Danielle said. So they just let him have it. And they're like, he's not harming anyone. He's just building up a military. Whatever. We're going to let that go. The problem with appeasement is you don't solve the problem. It keeps happening, right? It's like if a bully constantly is asking you for like lunch money, right? Really cringy, corny, but it works. You keep giving them your lunch money over and over, and you're like, okay, eventually he'll tire of that or they'll tire of that, and it's all good. But then the bully asks for more and more and more and more until it gets to a point where you either just never show up to school or you end up having to fight that person. And that's what happens with Hitler, is that we keep letting him take things and gain things until he finally invades a country that we care about, Poland, and then that's when World War II starts. Right? Our issue is that we kept appeasing him. Probably should have just stopped this from the beginning. World War II would have happened either way. Okay. Let's close the textbooks for a little bit, unless you're still working on the assignment from Friday or you're still working on the key terms. I have a short video I want to show you about the start of World War II to kind of help bring this all together, and then we'll do the nearby. Maybe we'll watch both if I feel like people aren't paying attention to the first one.
World War I officially ended when the peace treaty was signed on the 28th of June 1919. The treaty ordered Germany to pay reparations to the countries they had fought to help those countries rebuild, and it was also ordered to hand over 25,000 square miles of land. This put severe strains on the German economy, which was also trying to rebuild after the war, and caused deep resentment among the German population. The treaty created the League of Nations, made up of 42 countries and intended to resolve international disputes diplomatically, but the USA refused to join, which made it severely weak and ineffective. Limits were placed on Germany's military. Immediately, Germany began to break terms of the treaty by rearming, and after it elected Hitler, who strongly opposed the Treaty of Versailles, rearmament increased more rapidly. Then, in 1938, Germany invaded Austria, followed by parts of Czechoslovakia. Rather than start another war, Britain and France adopted a policy of appeasement, tolerating Germany's action up to that point in return for assurances that it would not continue. Germany signed a pact with Italy, who were looking to increase their own land and had already invaded Abyssinia. Meanwhile, Japan had been invading parts of Asia, but although they were invited to join the pact, they couldn't agree with the terms until the following year. Germany signed another pact with the Soviets that neither country would join or support the other's enemy, and the following week, Germany invaded Poland. Britain and France ordered Germany to withdraw its troops, but after they refused, both countries declared war on Germany on the 3rd of September 1939.
I'll pause it there. Somewhere in your notes you should write that World War II starts in 1939. It ends 1945, but we don't have to worry about that just yet. Just right now, just need to know the year. So somewhere in your notes you should write, World War II starts in 1939. Germany invades Poland. Germany invades Poland. World War II starts. Poland is an allied country, and when they're invaded by Germany, Britain and France are like, no way. We're fighting. Cool? All right, let's. I feel like we should do one more video. So let's actually pay attention.
cruelest conflict in human history. If we look at it from our current perspective, it seems unthinkable that anyone would intentionally launch such a devastating war. It may surprise you to hear that it was just as shocking to many people at the time as well. Parts of the world, Europe in particular, had yet to recover from the horrors of the First World War. Millions had vowed that they would never get sucked into another global conflict, and yet 2 decades later, it happened again. For years, historians treated the causes of World War II as separate from the causes of its predecessor. However, the lead-ups to the First and Second World Wars are inseparably linked. When Germany was united in the Franco-Prussian War of 1871 to 1872, it immediately cemented into a rich and powerful country. However, its late arrival meant that it did not gain the prestige and power it believed the nation deserved. It was kept out of the major trade networks and could not expand its colonial holdings. In short, Kaiser Wilhelm and the German government felt they had been disrespected. German frustration was only one cause of World War I, but it was a crucial one. However, the Wilhelmine bid to gain more influence failed, and the Entente powers in the war defeated them. But that only exacerbated the gap between German self-perception and their actual stature in the world. The Great War, as it was called at the time, was incredibly costly for the victors. They also blamed the Germans entirely for the outbreak of the war, even though there were other important causes. Therefore, the winning side, especially Britain and France, was hungry for revenge. As a result, the peace agreement that ended that war focused far more on punishing Germany than constructing a sustainable peace agreement. Therefore, the agreement included several causes that most Germans considered humiliating. The victors were not satisfied with blaming the defeated party for the war. They also sought compensation and forced Berlin to pay war reparations. The amounts of money involved were crippling, and France also demanded wildly excessive quantities of coal that were difficult for the vanquished party to provide. Perhaps most painfully, parts of Germany were stripped away and handed over to other countries. However, the United States worked to defang the agreement somewhat. Through their insistence, Germany was allowed to rebuild its economy and retain sovereignty. They also allowed the defeated side to maintain a small but potent military force. The peace agreement was poorly designed. It was not forgiving enough to bring Germany into the fold. However, it was not harsh enough to prevent the defeated nation from rebuilding and ultimately taking revenge. American President Woodrow Wilson identified some of the leading causes of World War I and aimed to prevent their recurrence. One measure he suggested was creating a League of Nations, not too different from the modern United Nations, which would help states resolve their conflicts. However, the enterprise was doomed from the start. Wilson was in the process of selling the idea to Congress and the American public when he fell victim to a stroke. The motion to join the international organization was defeated. The League released feeble condemnations when Germany repeatedly violated the Versailles Treaty. Japan ran amok in Manchuria, and Italy invaded Abyssinia. The neutered League of Nations was unable to prevent future conflicts. Rather than obey it or even respect it, nations such as Japan and Germany left the organization and ignored its resolutions. Germany was already a partial democracy before World War I. However, after the conflict, they adopted a fully democratic system with a capital in the city of Weimar. However, the catastrophic events of World War I had undermined faith in liberal democracy throughout the world. Many turned to communism, while others feared the specter of nationalization and redistribution and turned to fascism instead. Like many other countries, Weimar Germany was caught between both forces. Despite the reparations and rise of ideological extremism, the Weimar Republic limped on until the Great Depression. The ensuing inflation and poverty engulfed Germany and led to the demise of the regime. Adolf Hitler and the Nazi Party took advantage of the weakness of the Weimar government and blamed reparations for the state of the German economy. He also exploited the fear of communism and anti-Semitism prevalent amongst the middle class to cement support. These factors allowed the Nazis to pursue a policy of unparalleled racist expansionism. By the time Hitler and the Nazis had come to power, many citizens and leaders in the liberal democracies recognized the inequities of the Versailles Treaty. Indeed, the shock of seeing virulent nationalism and anti-Semitism take over the country hastened the long overdue recognition. This belated, though accurate recognition ended up being problematic. The oppressive clauses of the agreement had unfairly burdened the Weimar Republic. The former Entente powers should have recognized the need to strengthen that government. However, once the Nazis were in power, the democracies required a strong policy to counter their ambitions. Instead, they laid down their guard and attempted to satisfy Hitler's demands to avoid war. The British policy was particularly problematic. Hitler made escalating demands and moves in the 1930s to strengthen the German military and territorial position. Though he had written his entire manifesto for massive expansionism in the book Mein Kampf, the leadership in London believed this was posturing. Successive governments, particularly the one led by Neville Chamberlain, turned a blind eye to increased German provocations. At first, the demands of the Nazi Führer seemed to fall under the category of revanchism, defined as the desire to reverse territorial losses. In 1936, the German military remilitarized the industrial Ruhr area in violation of the Versailles Treaty. The French and the paralyzed League of Nations' lack of reaction encouraged Hitler to continue his policy of brinkmanship. In 1938, Germany annexed Austria, which had never been part of it. However, many observers accepted it, as Austria and Germany shared a language and many cultural similarities. World War II was fought on two major fronts, the European theater and the Pacific one. Correspondingly, both areas played an important role in causing the conflict. Just like Germany, Japan was dissatisfied with the peace agreements ending World War I. They had fought, ironically enough, against Wilhelmine Germany. However, the sacrifices of the Japanese were not recognized by the Allies. A combination of frustration with their position in the world and the 1929 stock market crash's fallout pushed Japan towards a militaristic regime. Unwilling to continue to exist at the mercy of Western colonialism and their monopoly on trade, the island nation embarked on a mission to secure the resources and territory needed to establish their empire. Starting in 1931, the Japanese increased their influence in Manchuria, a province of China. By 1937, they refused to recognize Chinese sovereignty and launched a full-scale war against their larger neighbors. In 1938, Hitler pushed to annex the Sudetenland, a mountainous region in Czechoslovakia. Though ethnic Germans populated the area, it was essential for Czechoslovakian national security. British Prime Minister Neville Chamberlain and French Premier Edouard Daladier negotiated with the Nazi government in Munich, agreeing to the German annexation of the area. The Führer agreed, formally waiving all future demands on the rest of the country. Chamberlain returned to England and announced he had made peace for our time. However, Hitler flagrantly violated the agreement. In March 1939, German troops marched into Prague and put an end to Czechoslovakian independence. The French and British knew they had been duped and prepared for war. The Soviet Union had been a close ally of Czechoslovakia. However, when the Western Allies abandoned the country, Soviet Premier Joseph Stalin adjusted his foreign policy. Moscow decided to sign a non-aggression pact with Nazi Germany, doing so on August 23, 1939. That cleared the final and most blatant German provocation. On September 1, 1939, Germany invaded Poland on a flimsy pretext. By this point, no one believed their rationalizations. Both London and Paris declared war on Nazi Germany. The British and French policy of appeasement played a significant role in paving the road to war. However, more than anything else, it was the gaping open wound of World War I that guaranteed a grim sequel.
I'll pause it there. Okay. Before you guys completely fall off the pay attention train and go on to Nearpod, finish out the hour. This is a lot, but it explains what you need to know. Honestly, it's not that much. If you want to know the causes and everything behind World War II, you will put this in your notes because this is probably the best way I can put it. And it's nice and color-coded too, which is, it's pretty nice. So, World War II starts in 1939 when Germany invades Poland. Okay? When they invade Poland, France and England declare war on Germany. Why is that? Lingering issues with the Treaty of Versailles. That was World War I. Germany hates it. And also economic repression pushes Germany into taking on Hitler as a leader. You guys are like, how would they let someone like Hitler join and take over Germany. That's why. One of the biggest issues in the lead up to World War II is appeasement. You let Hitler and Germany build up without any consequences. If you're not listening or paying attention, I really hope you write this down or watch it later. Some of us are wondering what's going on with the U.S. at this time because we're a U.S. history class. What's the deal? Well, after World War I, the U.S. is like, let's try not to get any more wars. So what do? We practice a policy of isolationism and neutrality. That's all good and dandy until 1941 when Japan bombs Pearl Harbor. And then we're like, no way, Jose. In order to understand what's going on here, Italy, Germany, and Japan are all allies. They're called the Axis powers. You'll see that in the Nearpod for today. Something that's called the Pact of Steel. And then you're like, all right, we talked about the USSR. What's the big deal? The USSR remains out of the war until Germany attacks them. They have this pact with Germany called the Molotov-Ribbentrop, also known as the Non-Aggression Pact. Which basically means Germany won't attack Russia. Russia, please don't attack Germany. That's all cool until Hitler gets like a big head about this and it's like, you know what, we can take on Russia. And then they attack them, and then Russia fights on our side, the Allied side, with France, Great Britain, the US, among other countries. Those are called the Allies. Cool? I could not have made a better display of the causes of World War II if I had tried. But no one's paying attention, they're staying on their cell phones and they don't care. So. On Nearpod is an assignment to help build this activity. Do it or don't. I really don't care. It's graded, so. You know, it makes me so angry when people come and ask me, can you know my work, Mr. Morales? When they act like this in class. Weird. So, on the stream section of our Google Classroom, there is a link for a Nearpod assignment that kind of helps bring this all together. Write down what's on the board in your notes, please. If you didn't listen to me, if you didn't watch the videos, at least write that down and kind of like think about it a little bit. The Nearpod is a self-guided one. It's not one we're doing together. If you need headphones for that Nearpod, I'll have them in the back behind Tyler. If you got questions, let me know. We have a current event due this Friday as well. So that's something you can work on too. It's a little disheartening when I'm just like, I'm in my zone, and then I look up and I see everyone on their cell phones. It's like, why am I here? That's all.
Oh yeah.
They call you guys digital natives, which means that you always grow up with technology. So it's in your lives. Cell phones, computers, things like that.
You want me to stay up? I'm hungry.
I mean, yeah, same here.
What am I up for?
Pushed us to stay.
I think I'm dying. I'm gonna have to go to the bathroom.
Cool this off.
I look big right now.
I still do. You really.
There's something in my eye, Ray.
Yeah.
No! You're big.
Alright, Google Classroom.
Don't look at my legs, they're hairy. I know it's hard. It's the E.
It's yes.
Bro, no. You look like some quiet kids. You look like some quiet kids.
It's right there the whole time. Alright.
I noticed a significant amount of people not on Nearpod doing the assignment. That
No.
is an issue. Bring up Chromebook. Who said that?
No.
It takes all of 10 minutes to do it. Or help us solve.
Can't do it. Can't.
Don't tell me.
Okay.
Key vocabulary. Yeah, we went over that. Scroll down. Oh crap. Shoot, I need headphones. Oh wait, no. No, I didn't.
Oh. I ain't no stupid bitch. Bitch, you stupid bitch. Look at you, dog. Look at you. Okay. Don't hit my face.
I need my headphones. Let me cool this off a bit first.
No.
I'll just...
Yeah. I think that thing only works. I agree. That thing only works when I see like, if you didn't have the technology and you did the SC, right? Certain situation. Then that makes sense, right? Saying that. That's pretty, yeah, that's a pretty good point. Yeah. You do have to.
These are crappy headphones, but they'll have to do.
Look at that bruise. Ah.
You know, it's just that one day. It was 18
Alright. Good. Flimsy headphones. What?
You fine as fuck. It's damn, it's too early, my fault. He said, you so fine. He said, damn, too early for all that, my fault. I texted him back because it was at 7:48 this morning. I said, why are you running to that? We didn't text back. He said, I thought you wasn't fucking with me. I said it was a little too early, but still, I was gonna text back as soon as I could. He said, oh, my fault. It was kind of early. How old are you? I said, I was just gonna ask you that. About the 17. He said, I said, you were born in 2002. He said, yes, I'm 21. I said, nice to know you. Then friended him. And then he friended me again. How you gonna friend me? How you gonna friend me My lips are so dry, dude. You see my lips were they hurt so bad. Don't get anything fixed.
That's the problem.
Bro,
The problem is
go
most adults
get me
say
some
something like
tissue. Go get me some tissue, man. that shit on. Did you put that shit on?
Girl, let me put you down.
Okay, nigga, not that.
Where? Bitch, where?
Bitch, right here.
Your bag? Your little
Look at how many different
Your
places
bag,
got
little
on.
good girl.
Oh, you got a shirt on too?
Wait, Nate, are you done with those earpods?
What? I do everything else but the near pods. You know that.
Why don't
You
what's
know
what's
that.
so bad
Hey,
about
I
them?
hate them. No, you are not. Not you about to log in.
No, I'm not.
Is that bad?
They are bad. Oh. I'm here.
If you did not get the image that's up here somewhere, please do so. Like take a photo of it, drag it on your notes. This is a good thing that goes hand in hand with what's on the board. Just letting you know. Word to the wise, as they say.
Stop. My mom got it. Don't eat. Oh, what was I doing last week? Stand on motherfucking business. That was pretty cool. That was pretty cool. Huh? You do? Are you serious? You're
See them all down.
adding people that time. Is that?
Alright. Okay, that's 1945. That's in 22. Where's the fifth one? Where's the fifth? Oh, there's gain control. Alright. I think that there's only 4 there, so there we go. And we're done. Alright. I'm gonna end off the stream here.